Sometimes the most powerful military statements are made without firing a shot. The mere presence of advanced weaponry, strategically positioned, can send ripples across the globe, shaping perceptions and influencing decisions before a single missile is launched. Recently, satellite images revealed a significant buildup of U.S. Air Force bombers on Diego Garcia, a remote and highly strategic island outpost in the Indian Ocean. This isolated base, often shrouded in secrecy, suddenly became the center of global attention. 6 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers, nearly half of America's entire operational fleet, were spotted on the tarmac. Their presence alone signaled that something extraordinary was unfolding, far beyond routine military operations. The B-2 is the crown jewel of the U.S. bomber force, a marvel of stealth technology and strategic reach. Rarely are so many deployed to a single location, making this gathering both unusual and highly symbolic. Soon after, 4 B-52 Stratofortresses joined the B-2S, bringing the total to 10 strategic bombers stationed on the island. The combination of these two legendary aircraft types created a formidable force, capable of projecting power across vast distances. This was no ordinary training mission. It was a deliberate and unmistakable show of force, transforming Diego Garcia into a forward-operating hub ready for rapid response. The base buzzed with activity as crews prepared the bombers for any potential mission. In today's era of constant surveillance and instant information, such a deployment is impossible to conceal. And that's exactly the intention. The world was meant to see this display of American air power. The Pentagon was sending a clear and unmistakable message. The United States is vigilant, prepared, and willing to act if necessary. This was a signal not just to adversaries but also to allies who rely on American strength. This unprecedented concentration of air power was a calculated move, designed to be seen and interpreted by both friends and foes. It was a reminder of the reach and readiness of the U.S. military. The world took notice. News outlets buzzed with speculation, analysts debated the implications, and ordinary people wondered who the message was truly for, and what might happen next in this high-stakes game. With tensions simmering and uncertainty in the air, the stage was set for a new chapter in a tense geopolitical standoff, one where every move is watched and every signal matters. The aircraft stationed on Diego Garcia weren't selected by chance. Each one is part of a carefully crafted lineup, a strategic mix designed to counter any threat anywhere in the world. This isn't just a show of force, it's a demonstration of flexibility and readiness, with every plane playing a unique role in the bigger picture. The 6 B-2 Spirits are America's premier stealth bombers, engineered to slip past even the most advanced enemy defenses. Their radar-evading design allows them to penetrate deep into hostile territory and strike high-value targets undetected, often before the enemy even knows they're there. These bombers are the tip of the spear, reserved for the most sensitive and dangerous missions. Alongside them, 4 B-52 Stratofortresses provide massive firepower and unmatched endurance. These legendary aircraft can launch cruise missiles from hundreds of miles away, saturating enemy positions with precision-guided munitions. Their sheer payload capacity and range make them a backbone of U.S. air power, able to deliver overwhelming force where stealth isn't the priority. The B-2S are tasked with the riskiest, most critical missions, using stealth to get in and out unseen. The B-52S, meanwhile, bring relentless firepower and can stay in the fight for hours, delivering wave after wave of ordnance when brute force is needed. Supporting these bombers are 6 KC-135 Stratotankers, essentially flying gas stations. These aircraft refuel the bombers mid-air, dramatically extending their range and allowing them to reach targets across the Middle East, Africa, and Asia without ever landing. This aerial refueling capability is what turns regional bombers into a truly global strike force. Together, this combination forms a versatile, global strike team, capable of adapting to any mission from precision strikes to sustained bombardment. The B-2S offer pinpoint accuracy and the element of surprise. The B-52S brings sheer volume and staying power, and the tankers make it all possible by keeping the bombers in the air and on target. Working in unison, they give U.S. commanders a full spectrum of options, whether the mission calls for stealthy precision, overwhelming firepower, or a rapid response to emerging threats. It's a flexible, layered approach, one that can be tailored to any scenario, from deterrence to decisive action, ensuring the U.S. is always ready to respond. The message is clear: the U.S. can project power anywhere, anytime with the right tool for any job. No target is out of reach, and no adversary can predict the next move. This deployment was a masterclass in modern air power, a seamless blend of stealth, strength, and global reach, showcasing the unmatched capabilities of America's bomber fleet. Diego Garcia's location is its greatest asset. This remote atoll, nestled deep in the Indian Ocean, is far from the world's trouble spots, yet close enough to project power across half the globe. Its isolation makes it both a fortress and a launch pad, a rare combination in modern military strategy. Sitting in the heart of the Indian Ocean, it's a secure land-based platform, an unsinkable aircraft carrier. Unlike ships that can be sunk or forced to retreat, Diego Garcia stands firm, offering a permanent presence in a region where stability is never guaranteed. From here, U.S. forces can reach Africa, the Middle East and South Asia, without relying on bases in volatile countries. This flexibility is crucial, especially when diplomatic relations shift or regional tensions flare up, making other bases less reliable or even inaccessible. Its remoteness and heavy defenses make it ideal for staging high-value assets like B-2 bombers. The island's security measures are among the most advanced in the world, ensuring that critical missions can be planned and executed with minimal risk of interference. Bombers can launch long-range missions and return safely, minimizing risk to crews and aircraft. The ability to strike targets thousands of miles away, then return to a secure base, gives the U.S. unmatched reach and flexibility in responding to crises. But Diego Garcia is more than a bomber base, it's a logistics and intelligence hub, supporting naval operations and housing pre-positioned supplies. Massive warehouses store everything from fuel to spare parts, ensuring that U.S. and allied forces can sustain operations for extended periods without waiting for resupply from distant shores. It's a nerve center for U.S. military activity across the Indo-Pacific. Intelligence gathered here helps shape decisions at the highest levels, while communications infrastructure links commanders to forces across the region. Any major deployment here is closely watched by world powers, carrying political weight as a joint US-UK facility. The partnership between these two allies amplifies the island's influence, signaling unity and resolve to both friends and rivals. Actions from Diego Garcia send a message backed by two major Western allies. Every takeoff, every deployment, is a reminder of the island's strategic importance and the strength of the alliances it represents. Its use shapes the strategic calculations of nations across the region. Countries must consider Diego Garcia's capabilities when planning their own moves, knowing that the US and UK can respond rapidly from this well-defended outpost. The island is a pivotal point on the global chessboard. Its presence influences not just military plans, but also diplomatic negotiations and regional security arrangements. When the US needs to act fast, Diego Garcia is always in play. Its unique combination of location, infrastructure, and allied cooperation ensures it will remain a cornerstone of American and British strategy for years to come. The bomber surge to Diego Garcia was a message of deterrence, aimed squarely at Iran and its proxies. 10 heavy bombers, including B-2s with bunker-busting bombs, signaled that even Iran's most protected sites were within reach. The deployment responded to rising tensions, especially Houthi attacks on shipping in the region. These bombers weren't just for show, they were used in real strikes, proving US resolve. The move reassured allies like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Israel, demonstrating America's commitment to regional stability. It was classic coercive diplomacy, using visible power to influence adversaries and prevent escalation. The bombers became a bargaining chip, shaping decisions across the Middle East. This was deterrence in action, flexible, credible, and unmistakable. Hosting so many advanced bombers pushed Diego Garcia's infrastructure to its limits. The B-2s require special climate-controlled shelters, but the base didn't have enough, forcing some to sit exposed on the tarmac. This risk to billion-dollar aircraft underscored the urgency of the mission. The deployment reignited debate about investing in more hardened shelters and better defenses for key bases. Supporting 10 bombers and their crews required a massive logistical effort. Everything from spare parts to food had to be flown in. The operation was a real-world stress test, revealing vulnerabilities that need fixing. Projecting power globally is complex and costly. The deployment was a strategic success, but also a reminder of the logistical challenges of operating far from home. Future missions will depend on lessons learned here. Diego Garcia's strategic value is tied to its unique status as a British territory operated by the US. Any military action from the base requires British consent, adding a layer of political oversight. The recent bomber deployment sparked debate in the UK about the risks of launching strikes from British soil. Some officials backed the alliance, others urged caution, wary of escalation. This partnership means US decisions are also weighed in London, not just Washington. The arrangement adds legitimacy, but also complexity and constraint. The UK is an indispensable, sometimes limiting partner in projecting power from Diego Garcia. Deploying 10 bombers to Diego Garcia was a bold act of strategic communication. The main audience, Iran. The US showed it could strike even the most protected targets. Iran's proxies like the Houthis also got the message. Attacks on shipping would have consequences. America's allies saw a visible sign of commitment and security guarantees. For rivals like China and Russia, it was a reminder of US global reach. This was more than deterrence. It was active shaping of the strategic environment. The bombers embodied American resolve, forcing adversaries to recalculate. The deployment was a non-verbal statement. Aggression will be met with overwhelming force. In modern statecraft, presence is power. The Diego Garcia deployment reflects a major shift in US military strategy. The Pentagon now favors agile combat employment, dispersing forces to unpredictable locations. This makes it harder for adversaries to target US assets and increases survivability. The mix of B-2S and B-52S lets commanders tailor responses to any threat, maximizing power and efficiency. Dynamic force employment means assets move globally in response to crises, not tied to one region. This agility is vital for competing with rivals like China and Russia, who have developed long-range strike capabilities. By spreading out and staying unpredictable, the US complicates enemy targeting. The Diego Garcia surge is a textbook example of this new flexible approach. It's about resilience, speed, and global reach in the 21st century. The future of air power is agile, adaptable, and always ready. Deploying bombers to Diego Garcia isn't just a military move, it has global implications. Public awareness and transparency are vital for informed debate about the risks and consequences. Understanding these deployments helps citizens hold leaders accountable and question the path to conflict. Visible military moves are part of strategic signaling, meant to be seen by adversaries and allies alike. In a democracy, public scrutiny is a crucial check on power. As security challenges grow, monitoring military actions becomes everyone's responsibility. Informed public discourse is a pillar of global stability.